what should we do when we want to argue with someone, we're angry at someone, a business colleague, relationship, whatever? Should we unload on them in that way, or should we try to figure out a way to like calm the chatter first and then have a conversation?
That one.
But why does it seem like 90% of people can't do that?
Well, I think because number one, it's hard to manage chatter. We've been struggling with this for a really long time, and again, we don't talk about these tools that are out there. So for some of us, we're just stumbling on these tools. Others aren't discovering them at all. Other people may think like that the things they're doing aren't actually helpful, like they're venting or they're taking drugs or doing other things that we know are harmful. So I think there's an opportunity here to learn about what we can do. And then, of course, there are these impulses we have. Like when we get angry, we're often motivated to engage. And so remembering to think about the big picture, I think can be really helpful.
That's key. What about language we use? You said language is key, not just the internal dialogue, but the actual words we say. How does the words we say affect our thoughts?
Well, so language can shape how we think. We don't only think in words, so it's not the same thing as thinking, but certainly the way we use language to explain what we're going through is really powerful. I mean, the subtitle of my book is "A Voice in Our Head," our inner voice. And oftentimes when I talk about this material to people, the first thing they say is, "Oh, how can I silence that voice? Just shut it up. I don't want to ever hear it." And what I say to them is, no, you don't want to do that. You want to stop the chatter. But words, language, this is a powerful tool. So I'll give you a couple examples of what language does for us. In the most basic sense, if I were to, I'm going to spell out a word. I'm going to give you some letters. I want you to just repeat these letters in your head silently. Okay?
Okay.
M-I-C-H-I-G-A-N.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you repeat those letters in your head 2 or 3 times? You don't want to, but so if I give you a phone number, 209, or 209-0501, like someone gives you that doesn't happen anymore in between at parties, but when we were growing up, it did. Yeah. You repeat that in your head. You're using your inner voice to do that, right? That's part of what we call our verbal working memory system. This system, it's essential to life. Like you go to a grocery store, you wonder, what do I need from the grocery store? Eggs, bread, and milk. Your inner voice lets you do that. So that's an essential way that language helps us. But then it gets more complicated. It does other things for us. Before I give a presentation, in my head, I will go through what I'm going to say on the stage. I'll go through it word by word in my head, and then I'll actually hear what someone's going to ask me, and I'll respond. So I'm simulating that whole...
You're visualizing
I'm visualizing. I mean, I'm doing it with language in my head, and I think that helps prepare me. I use language to coach myself, to control myself. All right, don't eat the cookies when it's too late. The pants are going to be, they're already a little tight from the pandemic. Right? We also use language to, I think, this is like the most magical feature of it. When bad things happen, we try to make sense of those experiences. And we use language to do that in ways that shape our understanding of who we are. So like when I'm rejected or I experience loss, I think about those events and I try to come up with a story, a narrative that explains it. That's all about words. So language, it lets us do a lot of amazing things, but it can also take us down the rabbit hole.
If we're using negative language and constantly putting ourselves down,